Now I challenge the Attorney General right now, because you are being paid with taxpayers' money. Say, person yebeka wasema. Jaye juma ne kwati defi. Came to securing a 20-year sentence against Chairman Wontumi over illegal mining. The prosecution suddenly remembered how to draft ironclad charges. Prosecution ain't to man proving the case. And are you telling me the Attorney General's office doesn't know the elementary rules of criminal procedure? Bullshit. I don't buy. Welcome to this episode of The Hard Truth. My name is Kojo Pills. Now, before we dive into the dockets, before we dive into the judgments and the political gymnastics of our courtroom, I want us to establish our ground rules. Now, on this show, we do not wear political jerseys. We do not favor any political or party or worship political colors. Nor do we bow to executive titles. On this show, we analyze the hard truth with cold on vanished forensic evidence, without fear and without favor. For God and country, we are here to expose what they try to hide under the carpet of technicalities. Now, while millions of young, talented graduates roam our streets with degrees, first-class degrees, second-class degrees, and master certificates in their bags, unemployed, hopeless, and silent, the political class continues to play chess with our national treasury. Now, when they are in opposition, they sound like revolutionaries. They promise us heaven. They swear accountability and they preach the gospel of integrity. But the moment they step into the executive power, they repeat the same rot they once condemned. NPP and NDC have been lying to us for so many years. They do the same thing they preach about or against when they are in opposition. When they come, they just do the same thing. And this is why we are here today. This is why you are seeing that somebody who was supposed to be in jail has been acquitted and discharged. Today, we talk about Sedina Acquittal. Now, let's stop beating around the bush. Let's stop pretending that what we are seeing in our courtrooms is mere legal bad luck or prosecutorial oversight. I am calling a spade tonight. And I don't care whose political feelings get bruised. Yeah, can't no champion if you want to say enough is enough. This MPP, NDC, no man no more yano. So we have to look into their eyes and tell them the truth, no matter who the person is or the person's age. Of course, we are not going to insult anybody, but we are going to say it as it is, because we are being harassed as a people, and because we use the taxpayers' money, our money, to pay them who are in office, we have every right to speak to them in a manner they would understand. Now, look at the court of appeals judgment on Sedina Acquittal. Let's look at that. The appellate judge stated in black and white that the conviction was quashed because the prosecution presented manifestly defective charge sheets and failed to prove basic facts beyond what? Reasonable doubt. Basic facts. That is the judgment of the court. That the prosecution was not able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Sedina Acquittal stole those money. Ni tientini ni nani say denti a Sedina ye jano no mo bi anfa subon ko court no ana judge I say judge nya hwe. Prosecution na ntuma prove ni case an kire court ne say sika ye say Sedina Acquittal ewia yi ye ni na no ye jitu mu say na nka also okọ jail no. Omukọ na omukọ ye lalasu lalabi oho. Because they should have proven their case beyond reasonable doubt. Nipa na una osema bokro no. Why should I be the person who come and prove my innocence? You are supposed, with the document and the evidence you have, prove beyond reasonable doubt that the reason why you are charging me, I actually did those things. But our prosecution failed to prove. Now, are you telling me that the state prosecutors, paid with taxpayers' money, sweat, trained in top law schools, equipped with state investigators and endless national budgets, suddenly forgot how to draft a basic criminal charge sheet? Are you telling me the Attorney General's office doesn't know the elementary rules of criminal procedure? Bullshit. I don't buy it, and Ghana should not buy it either. Now, this is not an accident. This was deliberate sabotage. Now, in this country, when politicians want to create the illusion of fighting corruption, they give you a grand show. They arrest their political opponent, hold press conferences, parade them before cameras, and tell the world, we are cleaning up the system. But behind closed doors, in the drafting rooms of state prosecutors, they intentionally leave legal landmines in the docket. Intentional. I want you to listen very carefully. Intentional. Almost said that. No more to so that the next government because in this country, when politicians want to create the illusion of fighting corruption, they give you a grand media show. They arrest their political opponent, hold press conferences, parade them before cameras, and tell the world, we are cleaning up the system. But behind closed doors, in the drafting room of state prosecutors, they intentionally leave legal landmines in the dockets. They build cases on procedural sand so that years later, when the political temperature cools down or power shifts, when power shifts hands, the court will have no choice but to throw the case out on technicality. Bullshit. Do you think this thing happened because they wanted it to happen? This was the exact thing they wanted to do. Because tell me, these people were able to bring Sedina Acquittal from abroad. Oh, she has been extradited. Now she's going to face the law, serve her term. They knew that they would use this process to bring her out. Let no one deceive you. She is out for good. It is a synchronized, orchestrated political theater. Look at the contrast. When it came to securing a 20-year sentence against Chairman Wontumi over illegal mining, the prosecution suddenly remembered how to draft ironclad charges. Which that one, Grandpa, I doubt. Maybe, I'm sure, say, shall bind with free swa. These people, they are still going to find some things inside that judgment to release Chairman Wontumi. Yeah. They suddenly found their legal sharpness. They suddenly knew how to satisfy the burden of proof. So why does the state machine becomes legally incompetent only when certain multi-million CD files hit the decks? Now look at the Dr. Stephen Opuni trial. 6 solid years of court appearances, millions of tax cedis spent on legal fees, witnesses, and judicial hours. And then, out of nowhere, the Attorney General walks into the court and enters a nolli prosequi, discontinuing the case without giving the Ghanaian people a single forensic explanation. The only thing they said was, government, they they found out that the prosecution had no solid case. So are you trying to tell me that? And this one, I want to talk to the Attorney General. Yes, because we are paying you with our taxpayers' money. How because the task and the so I have the right to question your performance, Mr. Attorney General. I challenge the Attorney General right now. If you claim this government operates with integrity, release the case file and the docket of Dr. Opuni's trial to the public. Let independent legal auditors inspect the evidence. If the state truly had no case, show us the dockets so that we know who failed. I challenge the Attorney General right now because you are being paid with taxpayers' money. Say, because we're in your personal company. And this goes to any minister who thinks that we cannot talk about them. Now, I'm not going to talk about your family issues. We are going to talk about the office you hold, the job you've been given as a minister, and every transaction, anything you do, we are going to talk about it. If you take it to court, I don't have money to hire a lawyer. I'm telling you right now so that you know. Mini B. Member can know yeri asem emfa me ho. Eduma na President Mahama de ahye won sa no. Eno na yesi ye. And I don't even understand, before I even continue, I don't even understand why there should be some kind of arrangement between past executive who stole money and they should come and pay up, or they send them to jail and freeze the account and take that money from the account. That is, you are the law. And if somebody has committed a crime, why do you tell the person to come and pay or something so that because we know that a lot of cases against these former ministers and things, during those who were in Akufo-Addo's government, you guys are trying to make some kind of agreement and arrangement. No, prosecute them, charge them, so that we put an end to this corruption everywhere. Now, if you claim this government operates with integrity, release the case file and the docket of Dr. Opuni's trial to the public. Release it. Let independent legal auditors inspect the evidence. Now, if the state truly had no case, like you are telling us, Mr. Attorney General, show us the docket so we know who failed. Because if you refuse to release that file, we will draw our only logical, unfiltered conclusion that the State Attorney General office is being used as a political filter, a machine that prosecutes opponents with fiery vengeance while quietly engineering soft landings and defective dockets for political allies. You cannot play with the destiny of 30 million people and expect us to applaud your legal acrobatics. The prosecutors who intentionally draft defective charge sheets to compromise national asset recovery are not just bad lawyers. They are complicit in the economic sabotage of the republic. Look around you, Ghana. We are living through a national tragedy, not because our soil lacks gold or our rivers lack water or our youth lack talent. No, we are trapped in the mass of despair because we are simply not angry enough. Now look at the global examples. In South Korea, former high-ranking leaders stand trial and receive life sentence, death sentence, when they betray the public trust. In China, In China, yeah, cabinet ministers face ultimate life death. Yeah, sentence almost yenko kuomo because omo wia ban sika. For public corruption, they've stored money. So they say yenko kuomo. And that is how they are fighting corruption. China, that is how they fought corruption, or they are fighting corruption. Yet in Ghana, the Auditor General, look at me, the Auditor General releases reports year after year showing billions of cedis unaccounted for from 2020 to 2024. Billions vanish into thin air. Now, is the Attorney General report now just an official record of unpunished thievery? Is it? It is an attorney Auditor General, I said, report now, and then but TV, so no market can, and because when you watch those reports, or when you read those reports from 2020 to 2024, chrono fitan and conformable chrono. Because how can you tell me those stories? How can you tell somebody like me, miso me school, me pay juma, and I me share juma, and I feel me nyaka krebi me hustle, and I me try say me finding me feet, Sky konkofo no. Sika rank of bottom for the young from 2020. Mr. Attorney General, please, from 2020 to 2024, if your government is fighting corruption, no deals. Don't go and do any deal with anybody. Anybody who stole one CD, let that person face the law. If a private businessman ran his company the way these politicians ran our state treasury, he would be bankrupt in a week and behind bars in a month. But because it is a taxpayer's money, they look us in the eye, they look us in the eye, call a multi-billion city hole a beneficial loss, causing the state financial. How can you tell us this? And they walk away comfortable. They are comfortable even walking away with our monies. They don't care because they know that there are loopholes in those prosecution. Oh, into him say now buy back. What? Listen to what they are saying online. Oh, ya buy back. Chema want to me. Yebeko yino. Ya buy back. Yebe you up. They know what they are doing. Look, they are thieves. These people are thieves. All these politicians, they are they have planned to rig this nation because they know. Because when you listen, I was listening to one of their communicators. I say, oh, ya buy back. Yebe you know. So they know that Ghana for yenim nyansa. They know, say Jimmy, we will do politics about everything, and we forget that the ordinary Ghanaian, the ordinary citizen, menewo breno, and then graduate be braining nam no more phone charger graduate. Me na me catch you. And you be auto phone charger be na Nigeria new be braina Ghana for. The braina Ghana for because a juma ni ho. Because these people said the name Tamaklo and those people wound to me and all those people who have been charged. So we said the name she was even prosecuted for she was jailed for 10 years. Wound to me has also been jailed for 20 years. And I'm speaking with that fact that they stole Ghana's money according to the judgment they received. It is time to wake up. We have been deceived because we have allowed partisan loyalty to blind our civic duty. We defend party flags while our infrastructure crumbles and our brothers and sisters cross desert searching for dignity. It is time to wake up, Ghana, until the ordinary citizen demands that every single officer, past or present, stand trial for every unaccounted CD under their watch. This country will remain a playground for the political class. I repeat, past or present executive who has stolen money, or even his office has been found liable of any corruption, I think it's time for us to hold them by the balls. Whether you were the president, whether you were the vice president, you were there. We Ghanaians gave you a mandate to protect our public purse. You were there, you stood there and watched these people under you store all this money. And when government changes, they go after the loose ones, those they think they can just jail them with nothing. I've been deceived because we allow partisan loyalty to blind our civic duty. We defend party flags while our infrastructure crumbles, and our brothers and sisters they cross desert searching for dignity. Ghana, it is time to wake up. Until the ordinary citizen demands that every single officer, past or present, stands trial for every unaccountable city under their watch, this country will remain a playground for the political class. This is the hard truth. This is the hard truth. We have to say it as it is. Yan can't champion for no more who say, Obia we are Ghana sika. Wow, what by a trim, Kufua time, Amahama time, Atamos time, Obia time. Where we escape because the evidence is there. We just have to go and take the Auditor General report from those times. If this Attorney General really wants to fight corruption, if this Mahama government really wants to fight corruption, then we need to go back. Start taking all the Auditors General report, especially from 2020 to 2024. Boni bia omaye wo. One city kwan ekwa so mo chisa nipa nitum. Because Ghana sika enne me ko bobi me ko robi demo fa one city ye be chimatum. Nka na obi a ye de o man sika ni na ahye ne nsa. Na omu boy akro no nso ye ntumi nka hwe because we are political. Ghana MPP NDC. Bullshit. And this is what the hard truth is here for. We are going to open wounds. Ye kano kwene senate here. Obi a wedi Ghana sika. Moma yenche no. Ma yenye katasumu muaso. Because this Sedina Acquittal case is like ya shut down ye pese ye di Ghana bonnet. And they don't even care if it will affect their next election or what. And for who, because they know say no, that is what I want to believe. I'm now trying to believe that this thing is like Sedina Acquittal was promised that because how can you tell me this aside all the evidence? No, Sedina Acquittal court nka so you innocent. The court is not saying that Sedina Acquittal did not do what she did. Sedina Acquittal has only been discharged or acquitted because court say your prosecutors no entumi am present case ni yie. Na say according to the evidence no there. According to the evidence ni there. Maame ni abosa akro no. But court no say your prosecutors na ye de yesika tuomoka. Jombe di jombe hye bebi ombe ne ni nyina ye na ye atua. Omo ntumi anko prove case no court. And it's a common to state and to improve case against somebody. And if you be free. That is what I'm talking about. This is the hard truth with Kojo Pills. And listen, on this show, like I always say, we speak the truth. We speak the truth. We audit the system and never compromise on accountability. God bless our nation, Ghana.